What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. My name is Oe, and today I'm going to be continuing my Monsterverse movie reviews. This time it's going to be Godzilla King of the Monsters, the last entry right before Godzilla vs. Kong comes out tomorrow. I can't believe we've reached the end of the road here before Godzilla vs. Kong. Internationally, Godzilla vs. Kong is dominating the box office, and that's what I like to hear. So I've been trying my best to stay off the internet in regards to Godzilla vs. Kong. Haven't looked at any of the reviews. Haven't looked at any of the new TV spots. I'm trying to just prepare for the movie. My body, my soul is ready for this movie, so yeah, I don't want to hear about any reviews until I watch the movie myself, so yeah. It's not about Godzilla vs. Kong today, it's about Godzilla, King of the Monsters. And what a rightful title for Godzilla, right? Yeah, I really do love this movie. I had such a great movie experience when I did see this movie. I mean, just the lead up to how Godzilla King of the Monsters came out. I mean, this movie came out 5 years after Godzilla 2014. After the disappointment that was Godzilla 2014, regardless of what you thought of the movie, it was pretty disappointing in terms of box office and how it was perceived in the longevity of things. People kind of forgot about that movie because it was so damn boring and there wasn't enough Godzilla in it. So it was pretty surprising that Toho gave the rights and licenses to more of their kaiju and movie monsters with Mothra, King Ghidorah, Rodan. I couldn't believe it. So the end scene in Kong Skull Island, when it revealed all the monsters that they were going to be introducing in Godzilla King of the Monsters, it blew my mind. It blew my mind. And also with the trailer that I'm going to be reacting to and reviewing today, which is the Comic-Con Godzilla King of the Monsters trailer that debuted back in Comic-Con 2018. In my opinion, this is one of the best trailers ever made. It has a classical musical piece, and they made it into a more epic, more cinematic movie score. It was the first time ever in Western cinematic movies that we were going to get the likes of King Ghidorah, Rodan, Mothra on screen with Godzilla. I mean, this was history. This was my childhood coming to life, so of course I'm going to be really biased towards this movie, and honestly it did deliver. But without further ado, let's check out the Comic-Con trailer for Godzilla King of the Monsters. Let's go.
Our world is changing.
Now, Millie Bobby Brown was becoming really popular because of Stranger Things.
The we feared has already begun, and we are the cause. We are the infection.
He's coming. The music in this trailer, amazing. Little piano.
But like all living organisms, the Earth unleashed a fever to fight this infection. Its original and rightful rulers,
The Titans.
the Titans. For thousands of years, these creatures have remained
Legend
recruited
himself.
around the world. And unless all the Titans are found, our planet will perish.
And so will we.
And so will we. They are the only guarantee that life
Mothra,
will carry on.
Mothra. It's a beautiful trailer. Beautiful. Rodan. You better frickin' pray. Get your ass to heaven.
But this is the only way.
Because these kaiju are about to destroy everything. Love it.
You're a monster. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Long live the king.
Frickin' love it. Godzilla just comes up, rolling up with... Godzilla just comes in, rolling up with the military. I freaking love it. I mean, I know he's, like, his origin is based from Japan, but that was the most American thing you could ever do. Godzilla just comes rolling into Boston with a military escort. That's America. If that's not, I don't know what is. But yeah, Godzilla King of the Monsters. I mean, the marketing, all the trailers for this movie were done so very well, in my opinion. So it was kind of disappointing to know that the box office numbers, weren't on par with the quality of the marketing. It did pretty mediocre. I wouldn't say it did poorly, but Godzilla King of the Monsters had a mediocre box office result, which is kind of disappointing. But hey, it's leading up to Godzilla vs. Kong, and the hype is there. People are really excited for it. So that's a positive. But yeah, Godzilla King of the Monsters. Millie Bobby Brown, she was really popular as Eleven in Stranger Things, so she was kind of a draw to this movie as well. And her character was okay. The whole Madison family that the movie centered around, they had a lot of baggage, let's put it that way. They were okay, but they got a little too melodramatic at times, and it kind of took me out of the movie. It's like, look, we're not trying to win an Oscar here. We're just trying to see the monsters fight, so tone it down with the drama. And Kyle Chandler, he has a certain likability about him, but his character was kind of a mopey bastard the whole time. I mean, I know you're trying to get your family guy, but you don't got to be an asshole all the time. And he kind of was an asshole. He's kind of an old grumpy bastard, but he does have that likability to him. And Vera Farmiga's character, her whole motivation for joining the eco-terrorists with Jonah, aka Tywin Lannister, her whole motivation. I mean, Godzilla and the Mutos destroyed San Francisco and killed her son in the process, but yet she believes that Titans are the cure to Earth. Humanity is like a virus. We're spreading too much. We're ruining the ecosystem, and the balance is the Titans. So she adopted that philosophy, which kind of a stretch for her character in this movie, but I'll go with it. But shout out to Dr. Serizawa. I barely mentioned him in my Godzilla 2014 review, but he was the, hands down the best character in that movie. Ken Watanabe, his performance, every time he has the opportunity to say Godzilla, he oversells it every time, and I love it. Godzilla, Godzilla, he'll save us. Godzilla, Godzilla. He oversells it, he's overdramatic with it, and it's perfect. I loved his character and his fascination and his respect for Godzilla throughout the whole series. And of course, he goes out to sacrifice himself for Godzilla after, the whole oxygen destroyer takes Godzilla out, but King Ghidorah lives. But yeah, what a huge contrast to the original Godzilla movie, where that version of Dr. Serizawa uses the oxygen destroyer to destroy Godzilla, because Godzilla's been destroying Japan and Tokyo and whatnot. But in this universe, this version of Dr. Serizawa ends up saving Godzilla after the oxygen destroyer almost, kills Godzilla. So I love the poetry in that. I really do. So R.I.P. Dr. Serizawa, you were a great man, and your sacrifice was worth it, sir.
Saraba.
But yeah, the rest of the characters, they're kind of forgettable. Like Zhang Ziyi, I forgot her name, but they have a very subtle tie-in with her connection with Mothra. She has a twin as well, which is a throwback to the old Mothra series, so they don't really explain what her connection is, but it's there. Out of these new characters, one of my favorites is Dr. Stanton. Just the things he says in the movie, he's so over the top. He fits this movie perfectly. At the end when Godzilla shows up the boss and he's like, Dr. Serizawa's got this lizard juiced.
Is it just me, or has he been working out?
You kidding me? Serizawa's got that lizard juiced.
I love Dr. Stanton in this movie. I hope we see more of him. And it's like every single Monsterverse movie, there's a huge evolution with the military. In Godzilla 2014, they were just kind of like a basic military unit. And now, I mean, hell, they got all the resources in the world. The freaking Argo, the huge carrier jet they fly around in this movie, just is an excuse to get them from point A to point B really, really fast. They got a lot of resources in this movie. Like, the military is hugely evolved since 2014. But for some reason, Monarch uses the same 5 soldiers for every freaking mission. If you pay attention, it's just O'Shea Jackson and his group doing everything. And I did love all the introductions to the Titans in this movie. Like, it opens with Mothra, and that was a beautiful scene. It introduces the Orca, how they're able to kind of control her moods or whatever. But yeah, Mothra's introduction, amazing. And then you got King Ghidorah and the Godzilla introduction in the Monarch base. And then Rodan coming out of the volcano. So they did service in introducing all of these Titans to the cinematic universe. So they nailed it on that part. Michael Dougherty, who is the director of this movie, You could tell he had a lot of love and passion and knowledge for these characters. With all the little details with these Titans and the way they acted, the way he put little cues of their original musical scores from way back when, you heard a little bit of their themes as they were introduced or did anything. So, yeah, the attention to detail that Michael Dougherty showed to these Titans and kaiju, and you could tell that they played a big part in his childhood, probably. So, there's a lot of love for the Titans and kaiju, and it portrays that very well as they're presented in the movie. And Bear McCreary's musical score is phenomenal in this movie. I don't think it gets enough attention and praise as it deserves. You have all the themes for each Titan, especially that Godzilla theme at the end. It was phenomenal. And also the rendition of Blue Oyster Cult's Godzilla played in the end credits scene as it's showing all the stories and news clips from the Titans, which that credit scene is awesome. I really love that credit scene. But, let's get back to the kaiju. Let's get back to the Titans. And like I said, I did love all their introductions and everything. The first encounter with Godzilla and King Ghidorah, that shit gave me goosebumps. I almost fell out of my seat. I was hyped up so much during that scene. I loved it. The movie, it's a good-looking movie. At times, the effects and the weather particles kind of distort the CGI and get all over the place. But I did enjoy the fight scenes nonetheless. So that whole Antarctica fight scene, even though it was a little dark, not as dark as Godzilla 2014, but, I love that fight scene. How King Ghidorah was ready for Godzilla's atomic breath. He's like, no, 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 mother effer. You might have got that with me before, but we're ready for that shit. And his three heads dodge Godzilla's atomic breath, and King Ghidorah is able to laser beam him into that hole. And you hear that little classic Godzilla roar as he falls into the hole. I always loved that scene. So King Ghidorah definitely got the W in that first encounter. And Rodan's introduction. Him against all of those fighter jets. Oh my god, Rodan did some work right there. He had such a great introduction, and of course, he squares off against King Ghidorah and gets completely dominated. But yeah, Rodan, his introduction was phenomenal. I love that whole scene. And fun fact, Michael Dougherty was the pilot that ejected out of his plane and got eaten by Rodan. So, or maybe he didn't die. I mean, Rodan's huge, so maybe Michael Dougherty got just ingested and he's just hanging out in Rodan's belly or something. So maybe we'll see his character again. And Mothra had a really beautiful scene where she evolves into her full form and presents herself to the Monarch base, which in that scene, of course, mopey-ass Kyle Chandler's character, Mark Russell, he's kind of defeated. He wants to go get his family, and he's having a conversation with one of the other characters. And they're like, hey, man, where you going? He's like, I got to get my family. And he's just about to leave, and it's like, dude, what are you doing? You have access to high-grade military equipment. Monarch's got endless resources. Where are you gonna go, you dumbass? So I always that little part of that scene annoyed me. But of course, as he's about to leave the base, Mothra reveals herself in all of her glory to show him where Godzilla is. So that was a really beautiful scene. And the end battle, the end confrontation, the finale with Godzilla and Mothra versus King Ghidorah and Rodan at the end, I loved it so much. One part that really irritated me was when they kept going back between the main characters, the human characters, and the kaiju. It ruined the rhythm, but regardless of all that, the fight scenes of Godzilla and King Ghidorah just going back at it, and then Mothra and Rodan getting involved as well, I loved it. And the way Mothra took out Rodan and then sacrificed herself for Godzilla, and her life essence actually helped contain the nuclear energy that Godzilla was kind of overheating, I guess, because of that nuclear bomb that Dr. Serizawa helped restore him back to full life. Yeah, I love that whole concept. When he powers up and just turns into burning Godzilla and just takes out King Ghidorah, you could see Mothra's wings out of that explosion from his body. So that's a real good imagery and real good way to show that Mothra was within Godzilla. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, so Godzilla just evaporates all of Boston. And in regards to the destruction in this movie, one thing about this universe is you can't take the human factor in account. Throughout this whole movie, the world is getting decimated because all of these Titans are awakening. Besides our four main characters, our four main Titan characters, you got all these different Titans waking up and they're destroying everything. I mean, there's one scene where Washington, D.C. is just getting completely decimated by King Ghidorah and Rodan. and we're just glossing over that fact. That the US Capitol is just completely getting taken over by Titans. They barely get into that, but yeah, there's a lot of destruction in this movie. But yeah, Godzilla takes out King Ghidorah with that burning Godzilla mode, which thank God Kong does not have to deal with that in this next installment, because that's going to be a burnt monkey. He's going to turn in one of those hairless chimps, which that's pretty terrifying. So just imagine Kong as a hairless giant ape. That would be terrifying. But yeah, R.I.P. King Ghidorah gets evaporated and one of the heads gets turned into a damn meal because Godzilla just swallows that thing whole. And something I never thought I'd ever see in my life, which is every single Titan, at least every single Titan in this universe, coming down to Godzilla and bowing to him. Because Godzilla is the goddamn king of the monsters, like the title says. So put respect on Godzilla's name. He's going to beat Kong on March 31st. Hell, he probably beat Kong already. The movie's already released. But you know what? I'm staying off the spoilers. So yeah, go Godzilla, baby. So I really enjoyed this movie. Does it have its flaws? Of course it does. Of course it does. Do the human characters get annoying? Yes. Are there too many of them? Yes. But other than that, I really didn't mind them because I felt like we had enough attention and time focused on the main characters, which are the Titans. And I actually felt like Godzilla was the star of his own movie. No matter what plot point the movie was going towards, Godzilla was still a presence, and his presence was felt throughout the movie. And he shined throughout it. He whooped ass, he came, he saw, and he conquered. And by the end of it all, you knew he was the king of the monsters. So I would have to give Godzilla King of the Monsters a 9.0. So as someone who's grown up with Godzilla and all these other Titans, I left the movie theater feeling like a little kid. So this movie was a dream come true for me. So Michael Dougherty, you did a great job. I really did love this movie. So that is it for all the Monsterverse movie reviews until Godzilla vs. Kong. I might react to a few scenes in that movie, so I'll have a video cam recording my dumb face as I'm just drooling all over the premiere of Godzilla vs. Kong. So you bet your damn ass I'm going to post videos on Godzilla vs. Kong. But until then, I'm staying off the Godzilla vs. Kong videos. I do not want to know anything until I see the movie for myself. If you like the video, hit that like button. If you want to see me again, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button as well. And I will see you all next time. See ya!